Hey, welcome back. Happy Friday, everyone. Hope you guys are doing well. I just woke up just a little bit ago and I'm like, I'm going to punch out a video. So I'm going to do this thing. So I feel tired. I probably look tired, but I'm like, whatever, let's get this thing done. So I wanted to talk today about how to make your first million. A lot of people have a goal, becoming a millionaire, and how to do it. And, that's what we've heard a lot. Like, you need $1 million or more to retire. People want to be a millionaire, and but a lot of people aren't. Most people watching this channel probably aren't millionaires yet, but I think a lot of you are going to be after the cryptocurrency bull run, because I think a lot of you are going to make a ton of money, which is good, which is a good thing. So let me talk about what it takes to become a millionaire and some concrete ways to get there. And if you are watching this video and you haven't seen my channel before, I'll just explain some things that might be helpful to you. If you've watched the channel before, then some of these things you've heard from me before already. So first, a couple things. They say that your first million is the most difficult to make, and I would agree that it is. It's not because of math, because finance and investing is math. It's not because of math. It's because of psychology, because we have this psychological barrier of $1 million that makes it feel like it's forever in coming, right? That we want it, we want that millionaire status, but we haven't gotten there yet, and so it's a psychological barrier. Once you reach a millionaire status and you have your first million, it's a lot easier and faster to make your second million. So it's just a matter of doubling your investment, and that's that's not that difficult to do in today's investing environment, which is awesome. I first became a millionaire when, I think when I was 38. When I was back in 99, when I was 25 years old, I started an open source project and released it for free. And it started to become popular. 10 years after I released it, I started to commercialize it in 2009. It wasn't until 3 years after I started to commercialize it that I actually became a millionaire. So it took me 13 years of starting a project / business to actually become a millionaire. And once I became a millionaire, it became easier to become a multimillionaire. And now through investing, it's super easy to just rocket my wealth forward. And this same thing applies to you. Like, no matter where you are, you can get to great heights really easily using the investment vehicles that are available today. So let me talk about those things and give you some concrete methods to reach millionaire status sooner than later. Okay, so I think that the best two vehicles to become, other than starting a business, okay, so one way to become a millionaire is to start a business. If the business succeeds, if it's a good one, then you can become a millionaire. Might take you a while, but that's one way to do it. But in terms of investing, the best ways, in my opinion, to do it are to use the two investment vehicles that have the best returns. And those are cryptocurrency and high yield dividend ETFs. So I'm going to talk about those two things and give you a concrete example. Now, I'm going to give you an example. If you're starting with just $1,000, just $1,000, and you want to go to millionaire status, what could you do? And what are some routes to do that? Well, one route is to stick that $1,000 into high yield ETFs like Coney, like SQY, like Tesla, like IWMI, things like that, and get at least a 50% yield. Sometimes better on these ETFs, but get at least a 50% yield. And if you run the calculations, if you go to the websites like that allow you to calculate like a dividend reinvestment, like dividend snowball calculation, you can see that it's pretty easy to double your money. So, with high yield ETFs, that $1,000 could double in value even after taxes. I'm gonna take into account that you're gonna be paying some taxes because your investments are in a regular taxable brokerage account. That $1,000 can double in value to $2,000, probably within 1.5 to 3 years, somewhere in there, depending on what you're into in terms of investment, but 1.5 to 3 years. Now, when the rate of doubling your investment is that, you can do a calculation. Like, we also know that if you double 1 to 2, and then you double it again to 4, then 8, 16, 32, 64, 128, 256, 512 to a million, it takes about 10 iterations of doubling your money to go from $1,000 to a million. So using high yield dividend ETFs, it would take you somewhere between probably 15 to 30 years to turn your $1,000 initial investment into $1 million just through reinvesting dividends or distributions, not adding anything to the principal. So if you just took $1,000 and you reinvested it, it's a 15 to 30 year time frame, which is, 15 years isn't too bad. 30 years is kind of a long time. So, but still, it's not bad. You're going a long distance, right? You're going from $1,000 to $1 million, which is a long way to go, right? But so it's not bad. But if you take the route of cryptocurrency and you put crypto into the mix, things change. Like we are right now at the basically staring down a crypto bull run. And if you were to put that $1,000, for example, into the Grayscale LTCN fund for Litecoin, and if Litecoin LTCN does a 50x like it did last bull run, your $1,000 turns into 50 grand, and you got to pay some taxes. Let's just say you're left with after taxes like 35,000. That 35,000, then you take that and you put it into high yield dividend ETFs for the next 3 years. You're going to essentially double the principal value that you have and get up to a point where you have 70 grand, which is pretty good. And then you take that 70 grand, you can stick it into the next crypto bull run 4 or 5 years from now. And as long as you do like a 15x, you're over the $1 million mark. And that method only took you 5 years from where we are right now. 5 years. It's way better than the 15 to 30 years that you've got with high yield dividend ETFs. And again, it all depends on the time frame of 15 to 30 years depends on your tax rate. It depends on the yield that you're getting from the ETFs that you're in, all that kind of stuff. I'm just kind of spitballing some numbers here, folks. So roughly speaking, but cryptocurrency is far superior to do this. So if you want the fast route, that's not bad. Starting with $1,000 and only $1,000, not putting any more in, $1,000, within 5 years, you become a millionaire. That's a really short time frame. You're utilizing cryptocurrency and high yield ETFs for that. So it's a fast method of becoming a millionaire. And then once you achieve millionaire status, man, it's easy to make mad money. Just take $1 million and put it into the high yield ETFs like Coney, Tesla, IWMY, things like that. Then you're generating $500,000 a year pre-tax, but you're making a ton of money. And then you can get to $2 million pretty fast. And then if you get to $2 million, it's you're generating at least $1 million a year. Your life changes really quickly, and you look at, the time frame that it takes you to double your investment when you utilize high yield ETFs as being 1.5 to 3 years. It doesn't take that long, and it can happen fast. So your life can change really quickly. Now, psychologically, it's difficult to get to the $1 million mark simply because you're starting out with a low number. You might be starting out with more than $1,000. Maybe you got $10,000 or $20,000 or $50,000, but still, psychologically that feels like a long distance from $1 million. And you have to let that go. And you just have to look at the mathematics of what is happening in terms of increasing your money when it comes to cryptocurrency gains or high yield dividend ETFs, their distributions, the rate of doubling. If you do dividend reinvestment, it's crazy how easy it is to become a multi-millionaire. First of all, a single millionaire, and then a multi-millionaire. It's way easier, in my opinion, than starting a business. It depends on what kind of business you're getting into, I suppose. But looking back, man, if I could go back It's probably a good idea that we didn't have the investment vehicles available back then that we do now, because I probably wouldn't have started my company, and I love my company and we do really good things. But still, I might not have decided to start it just because of the amount of work that it required. I really love investing, just the fact that it's kind of hands-free, hands-off. Like, I don't need to worry about things. And I'm not in real estate. Like, I don't want to deal with tenants and eviction and fixing toilets and all that shit. I just want my money to make money for me while I sleep, or while I eat or drink or drive or whatever it is that I'm doing. I just want that to happen. So like, if you're most everybody has a goal of becoming a millionaire first, and then probably a multimillionaire. And it's not that difficult. You do have to let time do its thing. Like, it's not going to magically happen for you overnight. That's not going to happen. A lot of people in this world have a lottery mindset, meaning they're like, they don't do anything for themselves in terms of starting a business or investing, that they just want to go out and buy lotto tickets. They want to strike it rich big time. And a lot of people are like that. And honestly, like, if you're smart, you can do the math. Shit's not going to happen to you. It's just not the way the world works. Like, statistically speaking, you are not going to win the lottery. You are much better putting in, the $10 a week or whatever people are putting into lotto tickets into cryptocurrency or high yield dividend ETFs. Like, I don't think people realize like how little money it actually takes to become a millionaire and to become financially free. They just underestimate that, and they waste a bunch of money on stupid shit that would allow them to escape the financial slavery that they're in. Because that's what, when you're in debt, when you have a mortgage, credit card debt, student loan debt, car loans, etc., that's like financial slavery. And people don't understand, like, generally speaking, how easy it is to get out of there, to escape that. And so just pay attention to like where you're spending your money. Like, ask yourself what it is that you want for your life. It's like, are you willing to do the work? Are you willing to put the time in and let time pass so your money can do what it needs to do to turn you into a millionaire and then a multimillionaire? And if you have the patience and the fortitude to do that, you're going to be in a really good spot. You're also going to be in a good spot to not blow your money, because a lot of people, like the lotto mindset people that want to win the lottery, most of them end up going bankrupt because they don't know how to manage money, and they just spend it on stupid shit. And if you become a millionaire, you want to stay a millionaire. You don't want to waste your money on stupid shit. And I'll probably do a separate video on this, because I think a lot of people are going to make a ton of money in cryptocurrency and are going to have what's called sudden wealth syndrome, SWS. And this is basically when you strike it big, when you make a ton of money, and then you blow it on stupid shit. And so I'll do a video where I talk about some things to keep in mind, some suggestions that I have, so people don't waste their money on stupid shit. But that's, first you got to get to the point where you have money. So it's like, you have to invest. And like I said, like, if you put $1,000 and only $1,000 in to high yield dividend ETFs, you're probably looking at like a 15 to 30 year time frame to get that initial $1,000 up to the point where it's worth $1 million. After taxes, it's probably about 15 to 30 years, depending on which you're in, depending on your tax rate, etc. But it's a long time, but it's still definitely achievable, and it's worthwhile. But if you take the route where you put it into cryptocurrency and then rotate it into high yield dividend ETFs and then back into crypto, it only takes you 5 years or so, depending on obviously the returns in the cryptocurrency market, but definitely far superior to dividend ETFs, even the high yield dividend ETFs. So cryptocurrency, that's why crypto is my favorite investment. It is by far the best performer. And I think it's going to propel my wealth, and it could propel your wealth to enormous heights. Like, that's why I'm in it so heavily. So anyway, those are some thoughts on how to become a millionaire, and eventually beyond that, a multimillionaire. So just keep that in mind. I know a lot of people, like I said, have a goal of becoming a millionaire. And it's a good goal to have. It feels good to become a millionaire. It feels really good. It's like an achievement. Like you checked an item off your bucket list. Like I became a millionaire at this day, on this year. It feels really good. So I want you guys to be able to achieve that. Check that bucket list item off, and it's so freeing. I will make a separate video, but it is so freeing when you have enough money. You can pay off your mortgage, pay off your car loans, your student loans, your credit card debts. Like the feeling that you get when you first become debt free and you owe nobody nothing is an amazing day. They say that money can't buy happiness, and that is true. But money does buy freedom, and freedom allows you to find your happiness. Okay, so money can buy some happiness, because if you don't have money, well, you're not very happy. But it can buy some happiness, but not a lot of happiness. But money does buy freedom, and freedom is what we all should be striving for. All right, that's it for this video. Hope you guys are doing well. I will catch you in the next one. Until then, you guys take care.